So in 1996 was a great and terrible year for me. I was literally living in a shelter, homeless. Got kicked out of the shelter for fighting. Lived in my car for maybe a week. Car broke down, and literally on the streets. And I was just had nowhere to go, nothing to give anybody. I burned every bridge I had, and I said, God, if you're really real, I know the Jesus that my mom serves. I want to experience you for myself, and just help me. So later that day, a guy I haven't seen in years said there's a Christian rehab in Pataskala, Ohio, and I think you should go to it. So I went, and that night they went to a Billy Graham crusade. I heard of Billy Graham, really didn't know much of him, and we all went. I think there was 20 guys, and got to the stadium, sat in our seat in center field, and it just seemed like all my sins were up on the jumbotrons. It seemed like everybody was looking at me, and I began to have flashbacks from the drugs and the alcohol that I used to do. I lived in a bottle for years, never finding an answer, never having peace, never having anything. So the director said, I said, I'm out of here. I can't sit here with you guys. And I sat behind center field wall, and he came behind and followed me out, and he said, look, if you feel a tugging at your heart at the end of this message, I'll go up front with you. And I was like, yeah, right, that's the last place I'm going. But I said, okay. Sure enough, Billy Graham gave his message and invited people to come up who wanted to give their life to the Lord, and I felt a huge tug at my heart. And I turned to Chuck, the director, and I said, I want to go up and give my life to Christ. So we walk up through the center field wall in the sea of people, and I about lost it. I said, I can't do this. There's no way I can walk up there through all these people. And he said, and I'll never forget it, if you want this, you have to go all the way with Christ. And I just stopped, and I literally ran. I was the only one running. And I ran and stood on a home plate. I said the sinner's prayer, and as soon as I said amen, it felt like 200 pounds left me. And I was the last. I never felt such peace and calmness, and I was the last one to leave the field. And I'll never forget that day, because the desire of alcohol left, and I really gave my life to Christ. And it was the first time I really encountered His love. I was scared to go up. It was a big risk. I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew I needed to give my life to Christ, and He met me right where I was at, and I could not be more grateful to Him.